Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday Notary Titans for Tuesday, September 24th. I am so glad that you guys were all able to join us this afternoon. If you are able to, we would love to see your faces, to have you turn your camera on. It helps us get to know you a little bit better and helps us see your reaction to the things that we are talking about. My name is Jen Neitzel, one of your co-hosts today. I am the creator of Marketing for Notaries, which you can find online at marketingfornotaries.com. And I am joined by the incredible Laura Biewer. Hi, Laura. How are you this afternoon? What day is it?
Yeah, super fine. Good day.
You
Great
are
Tuesday.
you are teaching today, it looks like.
I am teaching. I'm in Stockton today. Tomorrow I'll be in Fresno. Then I go to Elk Grove. I got
Oh,
a little going
wow.
back and forth going on.
She is a busy lady. And hey, guys, listen, if you are not able to turn your cameras on, no explanations necessary.
Okay.
We get it. Sometimes you're not in a spot to do that. But if you are, we just love seeing your smiling faces. Um, so we are here today, Laura and I are joined by Matt Miller with the California League of Independent Notaries. Matt, say hi to everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. Looking forward to the call today.
And of course, we are being assisted by the amazing Jen Cooper with JKC Mobile Notary. Say hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi,
Hi,
Jen.
everybody. See you guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So let's start the way we always do with a few announcements before I get into the particulars of today's call. Now, you guys know we have a new feature to help get your questions answered. It's a survey. And you can find that at the TNT website, which will be posted in the link for you in just a second. You can look at that, or you can use that to put questions in for us to answer on Tuesday afternoons if you're feeling a little camera shy. We understand that, so we wanted to provide you a way to ask those questions. Now, please keep in mind, this is not for urgent answers to questions. This is for questions to be read out on Tuesday afternoons during this call. So fill out that form if you would like your question answered. I also wanted to remind everybody, if you were on the call with us last week, Jen Cooper was telling us about her How to Start a Notary Network workshop, and it was a huge success. She had a packed call. It went extremely well, right, Jen?
It did. I was really just super honored all the people that came and hung out with me and engaged with me. It was just a really great call.
And so
Yeah.
just to remind everybody, Jen, this is how to start a notary network in your town.
Yeah.
Correct? Right.
Specifically in your town, it gives you some tips on how to expand outward, but starting local is the best thing. And the replay is available for purchase. It's only $25. I put the link in the chat. So if you guys want to grab it, please help yourselves.
Very cool. So if you are feeling a little lonely, you don't know any other notaries out there, you've reached out, you've tried to make some other notary connections and you haven't been able to find success with that yet, Jen was going to share with you how to create a notary network. So go check that out if you were not able to be a part of her call. It's so important that we have other notaries that we can rely on for support and encouragement, for ideas, and to use as referral partners in the event that we are not able to serve our customers because we're booked. Okay, now you guys know how this call goes. We run this like an old-fashioned call-in radio show. All you have to do is raise your virtual hand, which you will find at the bottom of your Zoom screen. It says raise hand. And that will put you in line to answer or to get in line for us to answer your notary business related question. Nothing's off limits. You've got experts here to help you answer your question. And look at Rob showing us how this is done. Rob, what's your question for us today?
Hey, Jen, how's it going?
It's going great. I should tell you guys, Rob's calling in from Texas or phoning in or
I am. And once I can figure
Thank
out how to add to just Rob, you'll have my notary business name and city and all that on there.
Nice,
People have it,
nice.
but I haven't taken the time to figure it out yet. I'll get to it
Super
eventually.
easy.
So try, start a course on that, would you please? Maybe then I can get it done. But actually, my question today is really not about me directly. It's something my brother has been interested ever since I started kind of diving into this. He's up in Connecticut, and what he's finding, like when he does notary near me or mobile notary, like I was looking for him today, there were literally like 13 mobile notaries that came up for the entire state, like when searching. And out of those 13, only one had a website, but his good friend is telling him, oh, well, lawyers do all that up here. And I noticed, I went into my course, the NBB course today, and I saw, Laura's in-depth state courses or whatever, and Connecticut wasn't there. So one, I guess I'm kind of asking general to the group here, is anyone from Connecticut? But two, is there something like really restrictive about doing this, if you have any knowledge on that, or what? Because he's kind of like, I don't know if I should dive into this or not, like if it's worth my time or not. So any information would be helpful, please.
Laura, you want to kick that one off?
Yeah, I haven't done real world Connecticut. That's why it's not there. Connecticut is what we do call an attorney state. That doesn't mean they do everything, but when we refer to it as an attorney state, it's because the NSA work is done through attorney offices rather than escrow offices in that state. And so those attorneys are really powerful in these attorney states, and they tend to want to hold that stuff close to the vest. So it's not that there isn't work available for notaries. Notaries do work with these attorneys, and there are plenty of them out there in other states that are like that are successfully developing relationships. This is where relationship building is really super important, so that you can get in with working with an attorney, because they're usually not just a notary near me. That's not what they're going to be doing. They either got one in their office, or if they're working with outsiders, they're working with those who they have relationships with. So yeah, it takes a little more work. They're a little bit more restrictive there than they are in other states, but the work is there and it is available. You're really going to have to focus on those relationships.
Okay. What about, is that going to be true too for like living trusts or other notary work besides just being a signing agent?
So living trusts are going to work the same way in terms of you want to build relationships with attorneys to see if you're a good fit, that you might be the notary they choose to use for notarizations on their living trust, particularly when it can't happen in an office. It needs to be at hospital bedside, or it needs to be outside of the office where they wouldn't be using an inside notary. So from that perspective, it is going to be the same idea. The other thing is a person can download their own trust. They don't need to have an attorney to do that, and they can call a notary directly. So there's opportunity that way as well. So either way, you're still going to have that opportunity. Just that the attorneys are a little more involved.
Yeah, attorneys are a little more involved. And Rob, because you're a notary business builder, I want to encourage you to go to Notary.com and reach out to Kathleen Woodruff, Woodruf. I believe that's correct. Kathleen Woodruff, she's in Connecticut. And I'm guessing she's one of the websites that were pulled up by your brother, the one that, and I reach out to her, tell her you're a notary business builder and that you have some questions, or have your brother reach out to her because she's been doing this for a while and she's built a really successful business. I'm a big believer in going to the source.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. You got it. Thanks for a great question. Thank you for that. Larry Greer in California. How are you, Larry?
How are you guys? Hey, Jen. How's everyone?
Doing great.
I just have a big question about Ron. I know that we have like at least 4 years in California before we can start doing Ron if we want to. And I just wondered, because I was listening to a couple of seminars, online seminars about Ron and sort of vaguely how it works. So I'm just wondering if there are any suggestions on a specific course or seminar that we can follow if you just kind of want to learn the general rules about Ron. I personally haven't been paying that much attention to all the details because we have so long to wait. But it might be a good idea to vaguely learn about it right now. So I'm just wondering about recommendations for which course you guys would recommend people take if you want to learn about it.
Ooh, that's a really good question. Laura, do you have anything for that?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, at this point, Larry, if I was a California notary, I probably wouldn't suggest investing in any paid courses at this time because the information you're going to learn now will almost certainly change by 4 years from now. So I would seek out free things. Like I think there's a lot of free things on YouTube about Ron and its differences in various states. I think that Amy Seitz has some free things on her website, or possibly even like a sand kind of like a sandbox you can try out her platform on and kind of play with. There's also Remote Online Notary Academy by I forget the name of the gentleman who does that. He's in Kentucky. But I would look at free stuff right now instead of paid stuff because it's going to be a lot different 4 years from now when California notaries are starting to jump into the game. So that would be my recommendation.
And Larry, I was at an event this weekend and I met a group from the Remote Online Notary Association, and they do lots of different free trainings. They're out of Florida. Maribel just commented that she's part of Rona. They go by Rona, which always makes me think of like COVID stuff, like coronavirus,
Yeah.
right? But
The
Ron.
Rona.
Corona or a beer. So the Ron Association, they do great work. They were just all over it this weekend. They were so great. So I would recommend reaching out to them because anything, Matt and Laura have a point, anything you put money into now, it could be completely different 4 years from now. Make sense? Okay, great. Awesome. All right. Lynn in California has a question for us. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, can you hear me
Hi.
okay?
I can. What's your question?
Okay, so I believe it was last week and somebody was talking about the, how do you say, safety deposit box inventory stuff. Now, I looked up the state forms in California, and from what I could see, the banks don't have to have them notarized. Am I not looking in the right place?
Well, the thing is that first of all, there's not a specific notary certificate for this.
No, it's
There's
the
a
bank
form.
form. Yeah, there's a bank form, and it just
There is
has
a
to be
bank form.
it just has to be signed by officers
Depends
of
on
the
what
bank.
it depends on what they're doing, and they can bring a notary in to notarize the signature of the bank officer, because that's what you would be doing.
Okay, but it's not
I'm not saying
required
all the
though.
banks, not necessarily every bank is doing it. They're only doing it for certain reasons. Sometimes it's the box hasn't been paid for and they're closing out the box and they need to do an inventory. That's the point when that would happen.
Right.
And if they called you to go to that, what would be expected is that they've created some kind of form. It's not like it's a statutory form that we would know about. And they would create it, fill it out, whatever it is they've done, and then we're going to notarize their signature about their statement of how they inventoried and what was in the box.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, and just before you go to the next, I just wanted to thank Matt Miller because I had my concerns last week about my notary seal. And on his recommendation, I did go into the NNA yesterday, and Jennifer is just delightful and we got it handled. And so I'll have, for my new commission, I'll have the new seals. So thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much. That was a great question. And um, I do want to remind you guys, hold on, I got to find the link here, that next week, October 3rd, you can get in on Matt's World. He is hosting his monthly roundtable on October 3rd. Jen is going to put that link in the chat so you guys can get registered. It is a fabulous way to not only gain some of Matt's amazing wisdom, but to network with other notaries across the country. He's going to be diving into all the new notary laws that are going into effect for the rest of 2024 and the opportunities that they can bring you as a notary entrepreneur. If you have previously registered for the California League of Independent Notaries monthly roundtable, you will get an email reminder already. If not, you can go to calnotaries.org/event to sign up. Asia, how are you today? You are on mute.
I'm great. Just a quick, well, two quick questions. First, I just want to say, like, I'm like fresh, like 1 year doing this. My commissions began back in October of last year, so I've just been doing loan signings for a year. And sometimes when you're doing loan signings, you kind of get in the groove of things where you feel as though, like, well, for me, I feel as though sometimes I'm like, I got this, I don't need any help. Who needs to call and ask questions, right? Well, I made a mistake. And I fixed it. I just corrected the mistake as soon as they called me this morning. I just got it corrected. I'm gonna scan it back to them, ship it back out. But before I ship it back out, I know someone asked this question before, and I didn't listen because it didn't apply to me. But now it's applying to me. Should I ask them for a shipping label, or should I just eat the cost and go ahead and ship it out because it was my mistake?
I think that is a wonderful question. And I think there are probably a couple of different ways you could answer that. My vote, Asia, would be to reach out in a very friendly way and ask them to send you a FedEx label or whatever shipping company they're using. And if there's any pause or pushback, then I would do it myself. Laura, what would you do?
I have a FedEx account, and so I just go ahead and send it back. If it's my mistake,
Yeah.
I take care of it, and then I carry the freight. And it's $20, and
Yeah.
there you have it.
Move on
I
your way.
will ask, can I send it 2-day delivery instead of overnight, if that's possible, because then it's cheaper for me, but I pick up the bill.
Matt, what do you do?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. What was your question, Cynthia?
I mean,
Oh, sorry,
would you
Asia. Sorry.
would you if you made a mistake and you have to reship out documents, would you eat the cost or would you ask for a shipping label?
Yeah, I would cover the cost to preserve the relationship.
Right. I agree.
And let's see, Jen Cooper, what would you do?
I have done it both ways. When I was, especially when I was in my first year, and mistakes had happened. I have both asked for a shipping label, and when they didn't initially offer it after that first time, I just did it myself. I knew where they wanted to ship it originally, so I went to the same company and just did it on my own. So a little bit of both, but I like giving them an opportunity to tell me what they want. Sometimes they don't want you to pay for it. Like in the chat, you'll see somebody did it and then they ask for an invoice so they can reimburse them. So it depends on what title and what the signing service wants.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if you're
there-
not,
Good.
if you didn't notice in the chat, that EC purchasing, I have that as well, and it makes FedEx really inexpensive. It's a huge discount.
There's a link in the chat for EC purchasing. It's a large group discount that you get for your FedEx. It certainly makes it much more, if you set up a FedEx account, makes it much more affordable, Asia, for you to ship things to where it's not like $100 for an overnight.
Right.
I think it really depends. I think the answer that I heard that everybody had in common is, Matt and Laura are saying that they just kind of suck it up and do it. When I was in the beginning and I had that, I was in my first under first couple of years of business, I would just find a nice way of asking if they were going to send it. And if there was any hesitation at all, I would eat it. But they also have discounts and things that they get for, mass shipping. And usually for at least larger companies, larger title companies, it's not like it's coming out of their pocket to ship, right? So you have to, as a business owner, this is one of those business decisions you have to make to preserve the relationship. Do you want to go ahead and just eat it? Or do you feel comfortable asking for it? That's up to you as the business owner to decide. And whatever you choose is the right thing, right?
Right.
It's your business.
Another quick question. One document they told me it's a big mess, but one document that I had to get re-signed was the mortgage. The spouse didn't want to sign the mortgage because he felt as though it wasn't his loan or whatever. So I had him re-sign it. Of course, on a mortgage, I have to notarize it. And it says both of their names on there. Do I still notarize it and just kind of cross out? Only the husband re-signed it. Should I just cross out the wife's name and notarize it? Or do I even notarize it? Because I already notarized the first one.
I'm
I'm not understanding what you're asking, Isha. What happened?
So they wanted me to have the husband re-sign the deed, for the house, right? And that document has to be notarized. The wife already signed it and I notarized it in the beginning, but now I have to add the husband's signature to it. The wife didn't re-sign it, just the husband. Should I still notarize it again with just the husband's signature?
If you went back on a second day to collect a signature from him, you need to notarize it.
Okay, perfect. And where it has the wife's name on there, just cross it out, right?
Well, you don't need to cross it out unless it's in the certificate.
Yeah, in the certificate.
Yeah, then I'd strike it from the certificate if she wasn't signing on that second time you went.
Got it. All right, just want to double check. All right, that's all. Thank
If
you.
you're using your own certificate, you
No.
just put his name in it. If they are printed as certificates and her name's in it, that's what she's talking about crossing out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that my answer was to that.
On the new.
Yeah. All right. So that answers your questions, Asia?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for asking. Cynthia in Texas, hey, what is your question for us today?
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
I'm going to be going on a cruise for like 8 days. And I went in and I've already, put that I'd be unavailable on SnapDocs or whatever, but how should I handle business, calls and whatever else?
Well, this is an amazing opportunity for you to leverage all of those referral partnerships that you have made, but I'm going to let Laura start by answering what she would do.
Well, I leverage all my contacts. Oh, I let all of them know when I'm going to be gone to verify they're not going to be gone at the same time. And I let them know that I plan to start referring people over as I get the calls. Now, I don't just forward my number. I take the call typically, and I get some information so I know which notary I need to send it to. I don't want to send it to the farthest away notary. I don't want to send it to a notary who's not bilingual if that was the need. I don't want to send it to a notary who doesn't know how to do loan documents if that was the need. So I need to ask a couple questions before I can do that. And you may not be able to do that on a cruise. So you may have to designate somebody that you do forward that number to so that they can do that for you.
And Rob is offering to take all of those off your hands for you. So
I see. Thank you, Rob.
Nice touch, Rob. I think the other thing that I also added to that, Cynthia, was I did send everybody in my CRM. So that's everybody I've worked with. If I go somewhere, I send them an email. Hey, FYI, I'm going to be out of town. I'm on vacation. Here's 3 different people that I recommend to help you. Should you need a notary in my absence. Jen Cooper offered in the chat to leave on your voicemail on your greeting that you'll be gone, and leave your referral partner's info there. And I think another thing to do, because I've experienced this, that even if you send an email saying you're going to be out of town, even if you leave it on your voicemail that you can refer to these 3 or 4 different people, people are still going to be like, why didn't Cynthia pick up the phone? So, um, any way people communicate with you, let them know you're going to be gone. But one of the great things that you can do, at least on an iPhone, I'm not sure which one I'm not sure if Android does this, but for a text, or when you're getting a call in, you can send a text right away as you're seeing the call come in that says, please reach out to whoever, that you're unavailable for the next 2 weeks or something like that. So they see it, it's right in their face instantly. Yeah, for an auto reply. Does that help, Cynthia?
Absolutely. Thank
Have,
you.
have a fabulous time on your cruise. You have
I
earned that.
shall.
Earned that. That sounds amazing. Celicia, what's your question for us? Celicia from Florida.
Hey, everybody. I don't know if it's so much as a question, but as a warning. On Facebook University, nonstop, have you got your grant money? Have you got your grant money? Have you been funded yet? Has your LLC gotten their money? Honey, you know, there's no free lunch. I don't know when you're going to need to learn that. There's no free lunch. Nobody's giving you any money. And the whole thing is a cryptocurrency scam. So when you see these things, just say no. And, you know, for some reason, all of these people have just inundated all of the notary pages. But, you know, the way I always check things out is I do Google reviews and go look at somebody's Google reviews. On Facebook, go look and see who their friends are. And if all of their friends are in Uzbekistan, Nigeria, Sudan, they're not like in Florida or North Carolina or, you know, Illinois. Just say no, and they report them to the you know, the admins on these pages, because, you know, I see these people, and once you give them your information and then they raid your bank account, and then, yeah. So it's a caveat emptor, buyer beware, stay away from those people.
Thank you for that warning. I think it's important as AI continues to grow and develop. I think that it creates a lot of opportunity for shady folks out there. So thank you for that continued reminder that we need to be vigilant. And like you said, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Yeah. Follow that gut. Thank you, Celicia. I appreciate that. Laura, will you do something for me?
Hmm.
Will you tell me how
Yes.
people can connect with you outside of this call?
So guys, I am available every Saturday morning, or most Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Coach Me Laura would be the website. Leave your email for Laura's Inner Circle, and you'll get the Zoom link. I have co-hosts on that show, which is also Jen Cooper and Matt Miller. I'm usually on, but there are occasions when I'm teaching and I can't be on there myself. But that would be the best way. And the second way is if you want something private, not group, is that you can book an appointment with me. A strategy call is free. Just go to calendly.com/ my last name, Biewer, Biewer, and you
Now,
can book a strategy call with me.
I have all of Laura's links in the chat for you guys. So if you want to register for that Saturday morning inner circle, which is similar to this, but much more intimate, that is there. Her Laura Biewer Presents training is there. Her real world state specific training that Rob was talking about earlier is there. And of course, a link to her best-selling book, Beyond Loan Signings, as well as her Calendly link if you want to book a free strategy session. And Maribel in Florida has a question for us. Maribel, what is your question? How can we help you today?
Hi, thank you so much. So I've been a notary and doing loan signings, actually Ron full-time with a platform for about a year now. So I did an LLC, I did everything, you know, under my name. And then now my husband is he's joined the team, so he's doing full-time Ron with the same platform. And we're both now in the business. So I'm trying to figure out how to transition everything for the both of us. Like just even tracking and just kind of how are we supposed to kind of do this together when I had everything already just under my name. So I don't know if anybody, I've asked this in some groups, I've gotten some mixed responses, but as like husband wife team, or if you have a partner or something, what are your tips and as far as like to transition from just a single person to now having somebody with you?
If I could ask a clarifying question, when you say you're tracking, what do you mean by that?
So like I use Notary Gadget for everything. I've between Notary Gadget and Notary Assist. And so it's under everything is, under me, all my notarial acts. So I track everything, my expenses through there. So now for him, I'm like, is there something we can do where we're both on the same software where we're, we can see each other's, or I can, manage his and all that? Because I'm doing mainly Ron. He's also going to be doing like mobile. So, or do we have to have like two separate, basically two separate Notary Assist or, accounts in order to like track?
So
I'm not
Maribel,
savvy with Excel.
we are going to ask her a question, but I just want to tell you, your microphone is really staticky. It's real staticky. We could hear what you were talking about, but just something for you to look into. Yeah, something for you to look into when we get off the call. So how do you track a system? You've added your husband and it seems like it should be kind of seamless. Just add him in, right? But all of the platforms out there that you use, Notary Gadget, Notary Assist, are set up for a singular person, and you just want to slide him in there. Okay, Laura, are you able to answer? I see somebody behind you.
You know what? I'm going to move out because class
Okay.
is going to restart in this room. So I need a minute.
Okay, Matt, would you like to start this one?
Yeah, I am not familiar with Notary Gadget. I'm a little bit familiar with Notary Assist, and I do know that Notary Assist does accommodate multiple people working within the same business. So if you have an LLC, you probably are both employees of that LLC, and you could track your signings and expenses there. I don't know if Notary Gadget has the same feature. You'd have to reach out to them to find out. But I do know that there are other notaries doing exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And Sue Hope, if you give her a call, she will pick up the phone from Notary Assist, and she will make sure you have everything you need to make this happen. And if they can't do it, they will put it on the list of updates to come out in the future. So I would highly recommend reaching out to both platforms and find out which one can do exactly what you're looking for.
Okay. I agree wholeheartedly with Matt. I just don't know enough about Notary Gadget to help you, Maribel, but I do know that Sue would be able to help you get your husband set up under Notary Assist to handle it that way. But I want to give you a resource. And I'm typing it in the chat. I want you to go to Gotary.com and search for Michelle or Daniel Ganot. They're a local couple here in Dallas, Texas, and they are also a husband and wife team. I know that Rob, who's on the call with us, has worked with Daniel as he's launching his business, and they would be able to give you, they've been doing this now for several years. They would be able to give you some great advice on how to work together as a husband and wife team. Like I said, I'm a big believer in going to the source. And nobody's going to be able to tell you what it's really like except for the folks that are doing it. So please reach out to him. Gotary is the Notary Business Builder Directory and Certified Notary Trust Delivery Agent Directory. And just search either one of their names and reach out. Let them know that you heard about them on Tuesday Notary Titans.
Okay, thank you. And I have just one more question. Okay, so on the platform that I work full-time on, me and my husband are basically 1099 subcontractors. We do get paid per hour, not per session. And
out of nowhere, I just had the thought, since I've been keeping track of my signings, like all the notarizations I do just for our business. For those specifically, are any of you guys aware, are we supposed to be also tracking all the notarial acts that we do since we are 1099s?
Now, I'm going to tell you, Matt, you're shaking your head. You know more about this than I do. Matt, do you want to
Yeah,
answer?
you're getting over in the tax side of things now. So you should absolutely be tracking all of your notarizations in your electronic journal, regardless, because that is law.
Right.
And then at the end of the year, if you want to use that deduction off your self-employment taxes, that's a choice that you have to make in conjunction with whatever your accountant may recommend for you. Some people have enough investment in Social Security and Medicare to activate that deduction. Others may not. So that's really a personal decision. But yes, the answer is yes, you should be tracking all of your notarizations in an electronic journal just to meet compliance for your state. What do you do with that with your taxes is up to you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Maribel. Thank you so much for the question. Roz in Missouri. Wait, Emma
Hello.
in Missouri, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yes. It's been a while. Hello,
Yes,
everyone.
it has.
Yeah. So interesting situation. And I wanted to get someone's or your thought or whoever's thought on this. As I'm getting incoming calls. So what are your thoughts about someone requesting a durable power of attorney for their significant other? And I ask all my typical questions to assess, if they're willing and able and know what they're signing, etc. And we complete the signing, right? So I was satisfied with him being able to authorize this, yada, yada. But when I walked out, a member of the staff said, "Hey, I noticed you were doing a durable power of attorney." She had walked in to do some other services. And do you know that his sister already has POA on him? And I'm like, no. So what do you do in that circumstance?
Laura? Laura, can you hear?
Well,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. So first of all, that's not our issue. If somebody decides if they can revoke a power of attorney, they can change who they want in charge at any given time. That's not really our business. Is at the time I met them, they told me they know what they're filling out, power of attorney. They know who they wanted to be in charge. They named that person, and that's who they wanted. And I did not see any indications of undue influence or that they were not alert and aware. So they met all my conditions, and that's how it is. And if there's a problem because the signer didn't prepare a revocation, the previous one, they got the sister with one and the wife with one, we're probably going to have some issues in the end, but they're not our issue.
Right. Okay.
And the one that's the latest one is the one that will end up being in effect.
Yeah, the one with the
didn't revoke
most recent date. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I thought. I'm like, well, maybe I should double check. And I'm like, it's done. I've done what I needed to do. So that's on them. But I have my journal. If something comes up, I was here and I could testify to what I did. So, okay. Thank you so much. I didn't know if there was anything else I should do there. So thank you.
Thank you for asking that
Everyone
question.
else for everyone who happened to notice that Matt put in there, a lot of POAs will have a revocation clause in it. It says anything previous to this doesn't count anymore. However, not all of them. And so possible that the situation can come up again. That becomes an issue for the family, not an issue for me as a notary.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks, Roz. Great question. Selena, tell us where you're calling from and what your question is today.
Hello, everyone. I'm calling from Philadelphia. This is my first time on a call like this, so I'm super new and like I'm trying to piece together what you all are talking about. So my question is, I'm not a notary or anything at all, but just interested. And my question is, how do I get started in Pennsylvania?
That is a great question, and it is loaded with lots of things that we could talk to you about for hours and hours and hours and days and weeks, probably.
I figured.
But where you want to start is to, Selena, is to go to your Secretary of State's office website and find out what is required of you to become a notary in the state of Pennsylvania, because the Secretary of State office is in charge of that. So that would be a great first step for you to do. And then, of course, step number 2 is making sure you start learning all the laws that govern notarization in the state of Pennsylvania. There's also a great organization. I think I saw some, Matt, did you put that in the chat? The Pennsylvania Association of Notaries, PAN. Is it dot? Yes, there it is. PAN, wait, where'd it go? What is it, Matt?
PAN.org.
PAN.org, that's it. PAN.org. They will be able to help push you or put you in the right direction and where you need to go.
Okay.
Does that help? Keep coming back to the call. Keep listening. This is the absolute best free training that is out there for notaries across the country. Keep coming back and listening and asking questions. We have seasoned people on this call. We have people in the same boat as yourself, Selena, that are brand new and they're just looking for tidbits and things to get started. But keep coming back. We'd love to see you on the call and help you grow your business.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. All right, Deirdre, where are you calling from and what is the question that you have for us this afternoon?
Hi, everyone. I'm Deirdre Wiggum, and I am calling from Dallas, Texas.
Hey, me too.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm calling. This is my second time on the call. I am a newbie, and my question is, what is the average time to even get clients? I'm out there on SnapDocs and some other platforms. And so I'm just like, okay, so how long does this take? I've been to some title offices and delivered some information about myself, some new builders, etc., some things that someone had advised me to do. But what's the average length of time that this should take to even get noticed?
Well, that is entirely up to you, Deirdre. This is my wheelhouse. So before I jump all over this, Laura, do you have anything that you want to start Deirdre off with?
No, why don't you just go ahead, because there's no sense in repeating everything twice.
All right. So I have, Deirdre, curated a website called Marketing for Notaries. It's marketing number 4 notaries. I want you to go check that out. And what I do on that is I teach new notaries a framework for marketing their business in person.
Okay.
It sounds to me like you've made the decision that you want to be a notary entrepreneur.
Yes.
And you want to get out there and build a business.
Absolutely.
And with regular work with the 5-point marketing system that I teach you to build that client base, it's going to take 12 to 18 months before you really start seeing everything come together and all your efforts work. That doesn't mean it's going to be 12 to 18 months before you make any money.
Okay.
It just means it's 12 to 18 months before you're able to kind of sit back and go, okay, I'm getting calls regularly. I'm seeing some referral business come through. My networking partners are sending me referral business. I'm sending them business. This is all working. It's coming together. But like any business, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort on your part because you are your brand. Not your logo, not the flyer you put out, but you. And so people have to get to know you and like you and trust you. And that takes time and effort on your part. Regular chamber meetings, regular networking meetings. I recommend at the minimum of 2 a month. Kind of 3 to 4 if you want to fast track it. And I absolutely recommend that you are getting out there, meeting businesses in your area, not just title and escrow, but all the other businesses too, that could use notary services.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Is that that's a very small answer to
No,
a
I
question that I
appreciate
could
it.
talk to you about for days. But does that help?
It does, absolutely. If you could put your business on the chat, I'd appreciate it. I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
already there.
It is in there for you. And the cool thing about it, Deirdre, is we've changed things up a little bit. So the only way to access that 5-point marketing system is to subscribe monthly, which is only $25. It's $24.99 a month. It's not expensive. But I'm keeping it as affordable as I can. But if you go to the shop and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see some training videos. So if you want to take a look at those, you can rent them for a day to stream, or you can buy them forever. It's up to you. It'll give you a little taste of what the training is like, and help you kind of see what it's going to feel like to go through the self-paced learning process of learning the 5-point marketing system.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And welcome to this business. Welcome to Dallas. Reach out to me. I'm in Capel. What suburb are you in?
I'm in far North Dallas.
Oh, okay. So you're not too far from me. Lovely.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
North Dallas.
one of these days we'll get to
39-year
meet.
educator.
Oh, okay. So hopefully one of
Yeah.
these days we'll get to meet. I'm gonna put my email in the chat for you. Please
Thank
feel
you.
free to reach out. That goes to anybody. Please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Laura, did you have
Appreciate you.
something you wanted to add? She's saying, nope, your sound's it's a little hard to understand.
I'm not in the room anymore, so it's noisy background here.
Oh, it is? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Cynthia's also in the Metroplex. If you're in Dallas, tell us in the chat so Deirdre can reach out to you. It's important that we get to know other notaries in our area, Deirdre, for the reasons that Cynthia was talking about earlier. In case you go on vacation, you need to refer your business out. Other notaries are not your competition. They're your collaborators and friends. So please feel free to reach out to anybody in the Dallas area. And like Jen said, support and encouragement. I have a suspicious, I'll have to look at that in a second. Do we have any other questions? Feel free to raise your virtual hand. Anybody, anyone? Sorry, I'm just now seeing, Rob was trying to tell me in the chat that my link is showing up as suspicious for the shop. Just go to marketingfornotaries.com and you can enter the website that way, you guys. I will fix that. I don't know what's going on there. Thank you, Rob, for telling me that. I appreciate it. Alina, tell us where you're calling from and what your question is.
Hi, everybody. I'm from Midland, Texas, and I just wanted recommendations. If anybody has a recommendation on a good tax preparer, whether they're CPA or non-CPA, that knows the deductions for a sole proprietor LLC for notaries, because not everybody's well versed in the notary, your stamp, how it can be deducted. So I didn't know if anybody had any recommendations.
If anybody has a tax preparer that they'd like to share with Alina, who lives in Texas, your tax preparer doesn't have to live in your same state, do they?
I don't think so.
I don't think they do. But if anybody has a great tax preparer that is familiar with the notary deductions that we are allowed to take, please drop that in the chat for Alina, and hopefully we'll get something in there for you.
Thank you.
You got it. And I have another question that came into my my box here, my personal one from Christopher. He was asking about the 5-point marketing system that we talked about just a minute ago. And he asked if it's available to notary business builders. And I want to remind our notary business builders on here that the 5-point marketing system is in your notary business builder dashboard. All of the videos are in there. Go to the replay archive, scroll all the way down. Everything's in alphabetical order. Scroll all the way down to the letter T for the 5-point marketing system. And you will find all of those videos to walk you through steps 1 through 5. It's a whole lot of me talking, so sorry about that. Does anybody else have any questions for us? You guys are kicking it with the questions today. I'm loving it.
How long is the shipping going to be on those notary shirts I bought?
I just you've got a few more days. They're making yours today, actually. I had a color change, Celicia, and I had to authorize it. Anybody else? I want to tell you guys, if you are a certified notary trust delivery agent and you are looking for branded shirts to wear that have the logo on them, you can now go to marketingfornotaries.com, click on the shop at the top, and you will find some shirts, men's and women's, in different colors that you guys can wear to your trust signings. You'll be hearing more about that in the coming weeks. Do we have any other questions today? Jen, have we missed any announcements?
No, but Celicia's raising her hand in the real world, not digital.
Oh, Celicia,
In the
real world.
real world. I know Laura's going to answer this one for me. It's a Delaware document for restated, amended something. And can I do that as a copy certification if I can pull it off of the Delaware site, or does it all have to be apostilled through Delaware?
I think it has to be Delaware, but they're all online.
Right.
You can do everything online with them. But I believe because that certificate, I think who's signing it, who's the signer of that certificate? That's what makes the difference. Meaning, as long as it's not a public official signing that certificate, and the answer is you can do a copy certification, be able to do that. But if it is, then you're going to have to do Delaware, but Delaware does everything online, so they have pretty fast turnaround.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Anything
to me,
else?
I had to do Delaware when I had to do that.
Does anyone else have a question for us this afternoon? Nothing's off limits, you guys. If not, I think we're going to wrap up early. Are you okay with that, Laura? Gosh,
yeah, I'm good.
Being done early. Well, thank you guys all for being here today, for hanging out with us, for bringing your awesome questions. They were fabulous this week. Don't forget about that TNT link if you would like to submit questions. If you're feeling a little nervous about being on camera, asking a question, we get it. That's why we have that link for you, notarycoach.com/TNT. Yes, Laura. Did you have your hand up, Laura?
Just a reminder for those who are NBB, have a call this afternoon.
Yes, we do have a call this afternoon, our Winspiration call. One of the great things about, I know some of you are notary business builders on here, some of you aren't. When we say NBB, we mean notary business builder. We're working on being better about that. One of the things we have as part of the community is a weekly Winspiration call to help you stay accountable to your goals. And I see several regular attendees just right here on my first screen. It happens every Tuesday. It's a fabulous way to help you stick to your goals. It is a judgment-free, shame-free zone. We are there to help you. We're there to help share each other's wins. It really is an inspiring, fun, call that happens every Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific. So Notary Business Builders, don't forget to join us this afternoon. Okay, guys, I want to thank Matt so much for helping today and Jen Cooper for helping today. Laura, would you like to close us out?
Make it a productive week.
Awesome.
Next time.
Yes, we will see you guys next week on Tuesday Notary Titans. Thanks for being here, everybody. Bye.
Bye.